Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Shanice Scott. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and make sure to turn your post notifications on so you guys are notified every time I put out a new video. And also check the description box below for my social medias, and make sure to go follow on my Instagram and Snapchat. The roommate that I recently had, I wanted to make sure that I was out of the room, and wanted to make sure that I give it some thought to make sure that I really wanted to post out this video. Kind of something that, like, it really took a toll on me mentally. I really don't know how I pulled off the grades that I did with the stress that I had this year alone. When you first move into a dorm, they take you through this check-in process. So the RA at my school, they come in, they check to make sure that your side is clean and neat and everything. And when we went in there, it wasn't clean, but like my side, her stuff was just everywhere. And I guess she had friends living on my side, so when I moved in or whatever, I had to literally like get her stuff, push it to her side, and like push like all her stuff, because she literally had it everywhere. So we moved like her suitcases, her bags, her stuffed animals, like all the stuff like that was on her side over onto her actual side of the room. So when we got there, we put our stuff there. We were waiting for her to like come in or something, for us to like get a feel of who she was, or everything like that. And she never did. So basically, by the time that I left my family, after our dinner or whatever, that's when I saw her, and it was just me and her. So it was weird going into it and not knowing who she was, and to see who she was and everything. When we first met, it wasn't bad. Like, we had a little conversation, and we were fine. It wasn't bad. And I was like, okay, maybe this situation won't be so bad. And when I walked in, she was actually like cleaning up and like trying to put her stuff away. So I was thinking that, okay, she's still moving into the room, and maybe she has that much stuff to where she actually needs to think about what she wants to do. So I wrote it off as, okay, she's still cleaning, so I'll give it like a couple of weeks, because even my friends were still at that time still moving their stuff and making sure their side was the way they wanted it. So I was like, okay, if they're still taking that same amount of time that she is on her side, maybe she has this plan that she wants her side to look like, whatever. And it actually turned out that wasn't the case, because her side was still messy from August to May, and that's a long time for somebody to be dirty. But whatever, that's here nor there. So the first argument that we had was because I cleaned up the entire room. Now, I have text message, like I have proof of like, how I asked her and everything. So I said, do you mind if I clean up the room, like the entirety of the room? She said no. So I cleaned up the entire room, like my side and her side, because I was just over the fact of how messy it was, and I could not handle it being that dirty anymore. And it was just getting to the point where it's like, I'm expecting roaches or something to pop out eventually, because it was literally that dirty. So after that, she actually she kept it neat or whatever after that whole situation, because we talked about it. And here's the thing, we talked about it. Now I want y'all to remember this part. We talked about the time that I cleaned up her room. Okay? So we talked about it. I was like, okay, from here on out, I won't touch your things since it's such a big deal or whatever. And she said, okay. Right? Okay. I forgot to mention that every time we had an argument, she would bring that situation up every time. So the next situation happened. It was her. She had her friend live with us in the room for at least a week and a half. Now, mind you, the room is pretty small. Technically, that room should be for just one person because it's so small, but they made it for 2 people. Like, literally, if I'm snoring, you can hear me snoring. That's how close we are. And, like, if her TV's on one, I can hear it because we're that close. So, it wasn't like, you know, it's a big enough space to where we can have 3 people living in this room. No. And then on top of it, it's another big girl. Like, I'm big. My roommate, she's small or whatever, but her friend is big. So it's just like now it's 2 big people living in this room plus a little itty bitty something. So it's just like it's not working. Like, it's just too many bodies in this one room. So after that, we actually, like, her friend finally moved out, found a room on campus or whatever. After that, whatever. And then, right after that, she had her gay best friend sleep in the room with us too. And I'm just like, okay, how many people are you going to have sleep in this room, take showers, brush their teeth in this room? Like, how many people? So I know to be prepared for the next person, because the first person, she did not ask me if that person could stay there. The second person, she did not ask me if they could stay there. And it's just like an ongoing cycle of her bringing her friends in to live in the room with us. So I'm just like, I don't know how many times you're gonna bring people in this room before you realize that this is not okay. So, and on my part, that's kind of disrespectful. You have somebody else that lives in this room and you're not, like, coordinating with them to make sure that it's okay for this person to be there. So, my curl is out of place. Ooh. It said, no, ma'am. Okay. Whatever. So, after that, what happened? I went home. So I went home in October, and so that's from August to October. And after that, you know, I just let things go. I was just like, you know what? I'm over it. Whatever. I'm about to go home. I don't care what you got going on anymore. Whatever. So I went home, and that's when things got real rocky, and I started seeing the person that she was for who she is and everything. And it wasn't the person that I could see myself, like, obviously, like, getting along with. And I couldn't see that person, like, I couldn't see myself, like, finishing out the year in that room with that person and making sure my grades are up to par. So, I had my cousin go into the room to make sure that it's how I left it. And every time she went in, something else was on my side of the room. The carpet and the pink flip-flops, those are mine, but everything else is hers, and that's on my side of the room. And then this is her slippers and her trash can, that's on my side. And then after that, her mirror is on my side, but that is my book bag. So why is your stuff constantly on my side of the room? Now, me and how I am, I don't like when things are on my side of the room. I don't like when you need to brush your teeth and use my toothpaste because you don't have no toothpaste. I don't like any of that kind of, like, any of those kind of activities. So for you to always have your stuff on my side, and before I left, she always had her stuff on my side. So it's not like the first time, like, oh, she's not in here, I'm gonna make this my room, you know, whatever. And, like, you know, I was surprised. No, like, I knew she constantly had her stuff on my side of the room, and I would constantly have to move her stuff or tell her, hey, can you get your stuff off my side of the room? Like, it's just, it's my side. So if I like my side to be clean, like, I don't need your dirtiness coming over onto my side of the room. So it's just, a sign of respect. Like, this is me, that's you. Keep that over there. So I came back and we got into an argument because she posted stuff on Snapchat and all these things, which I would have over here to show you as well. So when she posted this and all these pictures and stuff, I went to a RLC and I wanted my room changed that day, but all the rooms were full, so I couldn't get my room changed because I was gonna whoop her. Like, after all this, like, I'm done. I want to fight. I don't care. And so that's when we had to go into the meeting with the RLC, and we had to get a roommate contract. So after this, she went ahead and drew a line so that way she can keep her stuff on her side, which I was fine with. So now you could learn how to stay on your side. And we got into a small altercation where, like, it was gonna get to the point where I was gonna beat that. But, I had to remember our school has a 0 tolerance policy for fighting and all those kinds of things. So I couldn't get down how I wanted to. So I just had to let things be. And after that, we established that we just did not like each other, and that was that. Like, there was nothing else to it. At one point we did have a meeting with our RLC, which is the Resident Life Center, whatever, coaches, whatever you want to call it, whatever. We had a meeting with them, and we had to fill out a roommate contract saying, like, agreement of what we could and what we could not do in the room. So I would say probably from October to, I don't know, the next semester, everything was just very quick, because in November I went home for Thanksgiving, and then in December I went home for Christmas break. So by the time I came back, it was the new semester. And when I came back for the new semester, it was, fine. It was very, quiet, because she barely slept in the room, so she was barely there. And then, like, this singing group that she's a part of or whatever, they were going on trips, like, back to back, so, like, I constantly had the room to myself, which was amazing. The only part is the room was constantly dirty, and I have plenty of photos, plenty of videos on how dirty the room was constantly, and they're all on different times. So at one point in time, the room was so dirty that literally, like, she would let her trash pile up. So what I mean by that, she had this big old, trash cans that you have, like, in the kitchen or something like that. She had one of those in the room, and she would literally, like, get the garbage bag and put it by the front door. You're constantly going in and out of the room. Why can't you take it out, right? Right. So it came to a point where she had now 2 garbage bags there. And it came to a point where she had 3 garbage bags, where she felt like, okay, that's enough garbage to be in the room, so now I can take it out. And I have videos of, like, the 2 garbage bags that she had there and all the stuff. So she would constantly, like, at this point, like, she would constantly, like, she ate out, like, all the time. So it was always, like, garbage full of, fast food restaurants and all this stuff or whatever. So, that stuff starts to smell really quickly. So what she would do is, like, she would spray it, like, spray the room, like, spray with that air freshener. Like, she went through air fresheners very quickly, because that's, the room was stink with her trash. So it came to a point where, like, the RAs would come and they'll be like, whose trash is this? And I'll be like, that's hers. It's not mine. My side is clean. So they'll come and they'll be like, oh, well, you know, somebody has to take this trash out because, you know, you guys could both get fined for this. And I said, I'm not getting fined for her trash. So y'all need to notify her and let her know that her trash needs to go, because that is not me. So I guess they finally notified her and her trash was finally out or whatever. But like, it was always a constant attitude because, like, I don't know, I felt like there's some kind of hidden jealousy towards me because, like, I was there, like, you know, she would always constantly, like, talk about, you know, her relationships and her life, and I just be like, girl, shut up. So it was just like, it was constantly something going on in her life, but mine, I was always fine, but she made herself feel like she was bigger than what she was. And I feel like if you're going to do all that, there's something obviously wrong in your life for you to be constantly doing that. So, you know, whatever. Oh, my damn dog. So after that, we really didn't have no problems until like literally like the last couple of weeks. So, like, cause, you know, in March, you know, you go home for spring break, and, you know, after that, and I went home again before that in February, for Valentine's Day, and then, you know, and then in April, I had my ceremony. So, I had my ceremony, to be inducted into this National Society program, and I had my my friend come over and sleep or whatever, because they didn't have a place to stay for the duration of my ceremony and they really wanted to be there. So I said, no problem, you can stay in my room, because like I said, she had about 2-3 people come and stay in the room. I said nothing because you did not notify me. So, me being the bigger person that I am, I said, hey, my friend is coming to stay here for my ceremony that I have tomorrow. She said, okay, fine, cool. So I said, okay. So my friend, she finally came, you know, it was like, you know, all happy, you know, we ate, we got some food, whatever. So the next day came, and things hit the fan, because obviously she did not want my friend staying in there, but obviously could have just said that instead of me having to go through this situation of you trying to get her arrested and all this stuff. And I don't know, you guys could like let me know in the description box if you would like to hear a story time about that, because that one is an interesting and very awkward one after that. And also, mind you, it was during finals week. Like, girl, just because you dumb, don't try and make me on your level. Thank you. Okay. Oh, and also let me know if you guys want, like, want me to show you my wash and go routine or my wash routine, because my hair has been blossoming, you know. So you know, and for somebody who's 22, about to graduate, I feel like if you're still acting like a child at this point in time, maybe you should really reevaluate who you are as a person and make sure that wherever you move, that it's not gonna affect anyone. And plus, like, the fact that also she's a psychology major, so you're gonna be somebody's psychologist. Girl, you need to go and see a psychologist before you try and help anybody, because before you can help anybody, you need to help yourself. And if you can't help yourself, then you shouldn't be trying to help others, because that just don't make sense. And like, it's just so much I feel that's wrong with her internally. And girl, I hope you looking at this video, to be honest, because it's gonna be everywhere. And plus, since we both go to the same school, and I know your friends gonna be looking at my stuff, you might as well, y'all friends, y'all let your girl know that yes, I did do a video about her, and yes, this is her stuff and not me. So y'all could go and tell her the tea, because if it ain't about me, let's keep key. And let her know that the way that you treat someone, it backfires on you. So if you know, it's karma. Bad karma is around bad people. So I just feel like if you're gonna be this mean to somebody, like if you literally put somebody through hell from August till May. So literally, I'm telling y'all, the things that she put me through, I'm literally a better person for it. I've learned from that. Like, I honestly will not let anybody like treat me like I was treated the last year of my life, because for somebody to do you like this, and if y'all have a roommate horror story, or y'all are about to go into college, don't let anybody run you or tell you like, oh, or like treat you like you're less than or whatever, because this girl almost got bopped in her head so many times, but I couldn't, because of my standards and because of my the things that I was doing at my school. So I can't do all the things that I want to, because that could ruin my future, and I'm not about to have that. So, and she's always constantly fighting. Always. And her friends hype her up. So the people you hang out with is who you are at the end of the day. So I'm just leave y'all with that. And make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up. And let me know if you actually like this story time. Or what other videos you guys would like to see. So thank you. Bye.